At the Silverdome in Pontiac, Michigan, it's the New Orleans Saints and the Detroit Lions. Hello, everybody. I'm Lindsey Nelson with Paul Horning here in Pontiac. And, Paul, last week, both these teams had to play catch-up.
Lindsey, I think both teams showed up for the 1 o'clock kickoff. Detroit and the New Orleans Saints didn't start playing football until about 2:30. I think Coach Hudspeth and Hank Stram felt that the special teams let them down and cost them their opening day victories.
The Detroit Lions weren't pleased with their punting game, so they got a new punter.
How would you like to be the punter for the Detroit Lions? Wilbur Summers is going to handle the punting today. They've had 5 punters so far in the preseason, including last week's game. Mitch Hoops has already been cut. Wilbur Summers will do the punting today, and he'll have a lot of pressure on him.
But we do have 2 veteran quarterbacks.
Well, I'll say Greg Landy ranked #1 in the NFC after the first week's statistics, and, of course, Archie Manning, who's coming back off of surgery in the shoulder. Both of them had good performances in the first week.
And right now, let's take a look at the field. We're getting ready for the opening kickoff. And they are deploying now. The New Orleans Saints will receive. They are deployed to receive the opening kickoff. The officials, Jerry Markbright is the referee. Gordon Wells, the umpire. Ray Dodditz is the head linesman. The line judge is Bill Reynolds. The back judge is Tom Kelleher. And the field judge is Ed Merrifield. Assigned here by the National Football League. And so it's going to be Steve Mickemeyer putting the ball in the air. Jim Stewart is deep along with Rich Moody to receive it for the New Orleans Saints. And the ball is in the air. The game is underway. And it's going to go into the end zone untouched across the end line. Touchback. It'll be put in play 1st and 10 on the 20-yard line. The New Orleans Saints get the football first. New Orleans has Montgomery, Schumacher, Hill, Anderson, Morrison in the interior offensive line. Burton, Herman, and Thaxton are the receivers. Manning, Muncy, and Galbraith in the backfield. That is Archie Manning coming off shoulder surgery, 6'3", 200-pounder. Last week he was 18 for 30, 225 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. Former All-American at Ole Miss. They have an I formation, and now they shift him out to a slot left. There's a quick pitch, and it's taken by Galbraith. Tried the right side and got it up there to the 24-yard line. Brought down by Charlie West from the strong safety, a gain of 4. It'll be 2nd and 6. The defense, Sanders, Orvis, English, and Woodcock. The front 4, those veteran linebackers, Newmouth, Laszlovic, and Weaver. It's Hunter on a corner with Williams on the corner. West is at strong safety, and today Levi Johnson starting at free safety for the Detroit Lions. Ahead of Lem Barney, still out with a thigh injury. Now, an umpire's whistle, and that stops play. Probably a procedure.
Let's see if one of those offensive linemen moved.
He
If
did.
He didn't. It's going to be against Detroit.
It's against Detroit. And offsides against Detroit. Could have been Doug English. We'll pick it up from the referee, Jerry Markbright, just there.
Encroachment, number 78, defense, 2nd down.
That's Doug English, defensive right tackle.
And
This is a good situation for a quarterback, even early in the ball game. Many people call it a waist down situation where they can throw the bomb or take a chance for a long one, Lens, but early in the ball game, I think a coach usually tries to keep it on the ground, establish control.
your man Bart Starr used to throw the bomb and complete it a lot. Here's Chuck Muncy going for 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. So the Saints have picked it up 1st and 10.
Oh, what a great year he had as a rookie. These two backs complement each other well. Watch Galbraith there make a fine block, and Muncy, who only needed a yard, picked up about 3 for the 1st down. Weaver makes the tackle for Detroit.
So the Saints have picked up the first down as Archie Manning calls the next play.
Archie Manning last week moved into the #1 position in rushing all time for the Saints. Of course, that won't last too long with Galbraith and Muncy in the backfield, but right now that's a dubious distinction.
Jess Phillips has the old record, and that is Chuck Muncy carrying, and he got nothing. No gain. It's going to be 2nd down and 10 yards to go. Chuck Muncy, the great running back from California. Jim Laszlovic, the middle linebacker, made the stop. Detroit Lions have been turning out those great linebackers since heaven knows when, and they've still got 3 of them: Paul Newmouth, Jim Laszlovic, and Charlie Weaver.
Every time I think of middle linebackers with Detroit having to face Joe Schmidt, my shoulders hurt, my ribs hurt. I tell you, he could pop you.
Could do all of that later, the head coach of the Lions. Here it is, 2nd and 10 at the 33. Well, he gives it to the tailback, and trying to come wide right is Muncy, and Muncy is at the 35. And he is out of bounds at the 39-yard line. Paul Newmoff and Charlie West ran him out. A gain of about 6, make it 3rd and 4.
Little conversation going on between Newmoff and Muncie there. Of course, Detroit has always been famous, or infamous, whichever you'd prefer, for the linebackers. They like to talk to the opposing team. They like to try to get you a little off balance in your thinking. Muncie just gives him a little bit wave. Go on, handle your own thing, baby.
3rd and 4.
3rd down, 4 yards to go for the Saints. No score early in the ball game.
Pretty good draft for the Saints last year, right, Lindsey? They get Galbraith and Muncie, who in my estimation will play 10 years for them.
Burton's far left, and he can fly. Olympic class sprinter, and dropping back now is Manning, and he can't get rid of it. He's dropped. It's John Woodcock who's starting up there in place of Jim Mitchell today, who got there, so that brings the punting unit on as there's a loss of 7 yards on the play.
Now, that's the big problem, of course, for both these teams last year. And again, in the first opening game losses for both teams. Manning was sacked 7 times last week, and Greg Landry was sacked 5 times. So the offensive line, if there is a problem that they have to rectify, it's the pass blocking on both of these teams.
Blanchard's back to punt. Last week he punted 7 times, averaged 35.6. Announced his retirement before the season, but Hank Stam talked him into staying. Giron is back there deep now, and they're rushing 10. Only Giron is deep. Blanchard gets it off under heavy pressure, and Dick Giron is at the 28, the 30. And he's pulled down at the 31-yard line. Make it the 30. So it'll be 1st and 10 at the 30. Kim Jones downfield to make the tackle. A 39-yard punt for Tom Blanchard. This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League. It's intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Detroit Lions and the National Football League is prohibited. Lions get it for the first time, 1st and 10. And Greg Landry is at the controls. He's 6'4", 205-pounder, a 10-year veteran from the University of Massachusetts.
He was sacked 6 times himself last week.
They're up there in the double wing. Now they move Dexter Bussey back, and Bussey gets the football. Tries right, cuts back. Gets a yard to the 31-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 9 at the 31. Alex Price in to make the tackle.
End zone shot. Watch the middle linebacker, Joe Fetterspiel. Now he comes up inside, tries to pursue. Pretty good blocking at the hole. 74, I think it was Derlin Moore who makes the stop.
It was at a luncheon at the Pro Bowl years ago, and they were talking about making The Violent Life of Sam Huff into a movie. And Bill George, who was a pretty good middle linebacker, got up and said, if they do, they should get Joe Schmidt to play the part. 2nd down and 9 at the 31-yard line. Greg Landry now shifts him back in to even him up. Dennis Bussey coming left this time. Well, he got a little assistance on the tackle that busted him up to the 38-yard line. Bob Pollard, and he can aid you upfield. Gain of 7 on the play, so it's going to be 3rd down and a long 2.
Bussey, a durable running back. Of course, both these backs, Bussey and Horace King, they look like they're twins the way they run. They're both power runners, good blockers. Bussey picked up 858 yards rushing last year. Had a fine year.
2.5 yards to go. Of course, the Lions still miss Lawrence Gaines, who's out with a knee injury, and they figure it'll be about 3 more weeks before they get him back. 3rd down, 2.5. Even them up now. King and Bussey. King. He's got the 1st down, and yards to spare at the 44. And he got 1st and 10.
I was going to say, Lindsey, he got a good standoff block from his running mate, Dexter Bussey, on the left side. The Lions have used a double tight end situation last week on a lot of occasions. They had Sanders and Hill on the same side of that wing T situation. I think we're going to see that on 3rd and short.
Well, they get Ray Jarvis in there now and bring J.D. Hill off the field. Jarvis from Norfolk State, a 7-year veteran. He comes wide to the left side. 1st and 10 now.
Got both the tight ends lined up on the right side.
Even up the running backs, King and Bussey. Bussey plowed across there near the 48-yard line. Picked up about 3.5 on the play.
Jim Merlo on the stop. I tell you, those linebackers, if they use that double tight end situation the way the Lions are doing it now, the outside linebackers are in for a long day because they've got double team blocking at the hole. They have also got a guard pulling. So you've got some folks blocking at the point of attack for Detroit right now.
2nd down, 6.5 yards to go. They send Ray Jarvis far to the right side. Greg Landry, of course, is the quarterback. Dexter Bussey and Horace King are the running backs.
Sanders and Hill again, same side.
Looking for a screen. Unloaded the football, and it is incomplete, says referee Jerry Markbright. Jerry Markbright, the referee behind the play, says incomplete on the screen. Third, 6.5.
There's Greg Landry's 1976 stats. He started off, as I said at the top of the show, he's ranked #1 in the NFC. Picked up 363 yards in offense. Actually, only the Baltimore Colts had more yards last week offensively. Landry was 17 out of 25 against Chicago.
Third down play coming here. Landry. Bussy, incomplete. So it'll be fourth, and that'll bring the punting unit on for Detroit. Clarence Chapman covering defensive. Chapman, by the way, sort of coming home. He went to high school in Detroit, graduated from Eastern Michigan, where he is most valuable his senior year, playing a cornerback for the New Orleans Saints here in Pontiac this afternoon. Fourth down, and in to do the punting, Wilbur Summers. Now, Paul was telling you about Wilbur Summers, who was added this week to the roster of the Detroit Lions as Mitch Hoops was cut. Rich Morty has dropped back to receive the punt now, as New Orleans will rush 10.
They'll rush 10. They might try to block it. Both teams had a punt return for a touchdown against them last week.
No score. We're still in the first quarter. Thomas' first punt as a Lion. Hangs it up there pretty well. Morty at the 12. Side shifts one, but can't get the rest, and he stopped at the 12. It'll be first and 10 for the Saints at their own 12-yard line, a 40-yard punt. So the New Orleans Saints get the ball. They started the first time on a touchback to their 20. They start this time from their own 12-yard line.
Some people think all color TVs are pretty much the same. I'm a TV service technician, and I say bunk.
In a nationwide survey, independent TV service technicians gave their opinion of color TVs. They picked one brand, more than any other, for highest quality and for fewest repairs. One brand, Zenith, for the 6th straight year.
Zenith says the quality goes in before the name goes on. And you know what? It really does.
In Pontiac, Michigan, there is no score. We're in the first quarter with 9 minutes, 3 seconds remaining to be played in the period, and the New Orleans Saints have the ball first and 10 at their own 12 as Archie Manning breaks them up. Archie Manning still has it, and he wants to go long, and he does, and it's incomplete, trying to get it to James Saxton. Saxton is a tight end normally who played wide receiver last week. They sent him deep that time from a tight end alignment.
He was open too, Lindsey. Henry Childs had a great game in the opening day loss to the Packers, and he's out with the leg pull and did not dress for this game, and I'm sure Hank Strand would love to have Childs in there. Thaxton got open on that little flag pattern. Archie just overthrew him a little bit.
At Ole Miss, Manning was spectacular. He was named quarterback of the quarter century in the Southeastern Conference. His full name is Elisha Archie Manning III. Burton in motion and turn out, and it is incomplete. As it was intended for Don Herman, who had it on his fingertips, but he was popped by James Hunter and shaken loose.
They're trying to antagonize him a little bit. Herman, of course, 9-year veteran, he's not going to let that bother him. But Ken Sanders, defensive left end, got his big paw up and stopped that pass from getting there on rhythm.
So it's third down and 10 yards to go. 3rd and 10 for the New Orleans Saints. Lost last week to the Green Bay Packers, 24-20. Split the running backs. Thunder and lightning. Manning goes way long, and it is Levi Johnson moving back to try to intercept. Upfield was James Thaxton. It's going to be 4th down, and the punting unit's there. Angstrom along the sideline. There are only 2 active coaches who won more games than that fellow. One of them coaches at Miami, and his name is Shula, and the other one coaches at Dallas, Texas, Tom Landry.
Very well-respected coach, I tell you. A great friend, a great man. Of course, did some work here with CBS and did just a super job. The most dapper coach I've ever known. He is the best dresser. His wife says that takes her all weekend to get his suits ready for the game.
Blanchard kicking to Giron.
Beauty.
Boy, he hung that one up there. It's at the 36. Giron back to the 40, the 45, and that's it. They'll start first and 10 at the 45-yard line. It was a 52-yard punt for Tom Blanchard. And so it is good field position, despite the fine kick, for the Detroit Lions. First and 10 at their own 45-yard line.
Europe's most successful new car in history comes to America. Introducing Fiesta. Now imported from Germany by Ford. Fiesta. It gave European drivers the precise control of rack and pinion steering. And road-gripping Michelin radial tires. The power that took it from 0 to 50 in an average of 8.8 seconds. And front disc brakes that brought it from 50 to 0 in an average of 3.3 seconds. Fiesta has the traction and control of front-wheel drive, yet it also has excellent gasoline economy and a modest base sticker price. Fiesta. Test drive Europe's most successful new car in history at more than 5,000 authorized Ford dealers across America.
We got a little lady that's a little embarrassed about being on TV, but she is a pretty one. There's Baltimore. Roosevelt leaks. First quarter, a 6-yard touchdown run puts the Colts in front.
First and 10 at the 45 for the Detroit Lions. Low contact made, but no snaps. Everybody gets settled down, and Greg Landry has the football. He goes long, down the sideline. It is incomplete. Trying to get it out there to J.D. Hill, the 7-year veteran from Arizona State, streaking down the sideline. Covering was Tom Myers, who is the free safety.
Tom Myers used his head then. He's a fine free safety. Had an interception last week, but he used his body there, Lindsey, to shield that reception by J.D. Hill.
Offensive line, Hertwig, Bollinger, Morris, Markovich, and Freitas. Jarvis, Hill, and another Hill are the receivers. Landry and the running backs are Bussey and King. Second and 10 for Landry and his Lions. They're at the 45-yard line.
And they're using that double tight end on the same side over there, Sanders and Hill.
Even up the running backs. That's Dexter Bussey. Cuts back inside the block. Gets to the 39-yard line. There's a penalty marker thrown. A penalty marker is thrown. Fetterspiel finally brought him down.
A 16-yard pickup, Lindsey, and they went right at the point of attack where those two tight ends, David Hill and Charlie Sanders, they double-teamed at the hole. It's going to be against Detroit here.
And as soon as the penalty has been marked off, we'll pick up the details from Jerry Markbright. Marks off a 15-yarder, which puts the ball back to the 45-yard line, 46-yard line. Here it is.
Holding, 86, offense, second down.
That's J.D. Hill, downfield trying to block. One of the offensive coordinators, Wally English, with the Detroit Lions.
That makes it 2nd and 9, back at the 46-yard line.
Double wing, huh?
That's it.
You use them all.
Even up the running backs again. Landry guns this one, and it's complete. Taken by Ray Jarvis, coming back. And it's going to be marked at the 39-yard line, 1st and 10.
Nothing Clarence Chapman could do here. Let's take a look. Slow motion. He's going to throw it to his left on a hook pattern. Clarence Chapman had man-to-man coverage. You see that? And Jarvis just came back for the ball beautifully for the first down.
Clarence Chapman, going to high school in Detroit, was a track star and riding across town one day with a classmate. Classmate said he was going to football practice, and why don't you come along? And did he ever? It's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Pick up 14 yards, first down, Detroit.
Landry. Well, he ducks that one. He's still alive. He's going to run it. 35 hits the deck. He hits the deck and skids up there until he comes to a sudden halt against a defensive knee at the 33-yard line. Fetterspiel was there.
I tell you, when Greg Landry first came out of the University of Massachusetts the first couple years, on a scramble like that, he'd try to run over some of those defensive backs and linebackers. But I think he's learned his lesson.
Well, that has happened. When you come into the National Football League, you're have to want to do that sort of thing if you did it in college and if you're big and strong, but it's those long days you lie in a single hospital bed that gives you time to think it over. It's 2nd and 4 at the 33.
That's 6.
This is Horace King, and he got very close to the first down and may have picked it up. 1st and 10 it is. Fettersfield again to make the tackle. That's not a bad middle linebacker.
I'll say, I think he's the most underrated middle linebacker, maybe in professional football. Fettersfield opened up last week with 15 tackles, 10 unassisted tackles. He's a six-year veteran out of Kentucky, 6'2", 230 pounds, and started all 4. In fact, he's only missed 1 game in 5 years.
The fact that he is from Louisville, Kentucky has nothing to do with Paul's opinion because he went to DeSales High and Paul's from Flagey. It's 1st and 10 at the 28-yard line. Lions are in New Orleans territory, and this is Dexter Bussett. He got to the 26 for 2, and it'll be 2nd and 8. Bob Pollard in to make the stop.
Let's take a look at Fettersfield from the middle linebacker position here. Now, he's keying the block of the center. Make one little move to the left. He gets rid of the left guard there, who was on a trap block, Russ Bollinger.
Second down and 8 yards to go at the 26 of New Orleans. No score. 5 minutes, 40 seconds left in the first quarter. This is Horace King again coming to the left side to the 23-yard line. He picked up 3, and that'll make it 3rd down and 5 yards to go. Joe Fettersfield again in on the tackle, along with Greg Westbrooks, who is right outside linebacker.
First quarter score, Cincinnati 14, Seattle nothing. Second touchdown scored from 10 yards out on a run by Pete Johnson, the former Ohio State star.
Last week, Horace King, who just carried the ball, carried 18 times, and he picked up 90 yards against the Bears, an average of 5 yards per carry.
Look at your 2 tight ends there, Lindsey, about a yard off the ball.
Dropping back is Greg Landry. Well, he puts it up, and it is a touchdown, J.D. Hill. 23-yard touchdown pass from Greg Landry to J.D. Hill.
And good pass protection that time. J.D. Hill came from the left side. From the end zone shot, you'll see Landry go back. Watch your pass protection. Now he's looking around. J.D. Hill's coming from the left side of the field. And against the grain, he's wide open over there. Lions go 54 yards in 8 plays.
Conversion attempt coming now, and Steve Mickemeyer will attempt it, and Gary Danielson will hold. Danielson holding Mickemeyer, a sidewinder, formerly with the San Francisco 49ers. Danielson puts it down. Mickemeyer boots it up. Good. It is good, and so with 4 minutes, 52 seconds remaining to be played in the first quarter, the Detroit Lions have taken the lead. It is the Lions 7 and the New Orleans Saints nothing.
I mean, it was really a good movie.
It was good, wasn't it?
Oh, honey, look, some poor guy left his lights on.
Larry.
Is he going to be in trouble?
Larry.
Boy, am I glad it isn't me.
Larry, it is you.
It is me. Oh.
The Die Hard has extra power to start your car when most batteries won't. Starting soon in your neighborhood. Sold only at Sears.
Watch the spectacular television premiere of That's Entertainment Part 2 tonight, starting at 8, 7 Central and Mountain Time, right here.
There's Greg Landry, and Tommy Hudspeth is standing directly to Greg's right, talking over things.
Mickemeyer is putting it up, and we've got Stewart and Monty deep. And it is bounding around as Stewart lets it go over there, and there's a penalty mark, which simply means that it went out of bounds. So they'll bring it back and kick it again. As you know, there are 45-man squads this year, and 24 hours before each game, 2 of them put on a move list and are ineligible. The New Orleans, Henry Childs and Tinker Owens are not eligible for today's game, and for the Detroit Lions, Jim Mitchell and Lawrence Gaines are the 2 men on the move list. So now a 5-yard penalty will be inflicted, putting the ball back to the 30-yard line. From whence Steve Mickemeyer will kick it off. That is Stewart, Jim Stewart from Tulsa, dropping back. He's back there with Rich Modi, the young man from Penn State. 4 minutes, 44 seconds left to play in the first quarter. New Orleans Saints, of course, are from the Western Division of the NFC, and the Lions are from the Central Division of the NFC. Mickemeyer puts it up end over end. Stewart at the 6-yard line, to the 10, to the 15, to the 20, turns it on, 25-30. He went into a little overdrive and sped out there to the 37-yard line.
This is Jim Stewart. Now watch Andy Bolton, number 43 for Detroit, almost get him right here. And Stewart just got outside of him, got a good block, and turned it up. It's going to be marked about the 38-yard line. Good return.
First and 10 from New Orleans, 38.
That's where it's marked. First and 10 for Archie Manning and the Saints. Won only 3 of their last 33 road games. It's the first time they've played here in Pontiac. All right, wide receivers left and right. Even up the running backs. Archie Manning goes a screen right, taken by Chuck Muncie. And Muncie, if anything, lost the yard.
Ken Sanders made a fine play from his defensive left end. He was on a pass rush, Lindsey, and smelled out the screen to his side. And I think Muncie, as Ken Sanders had a hold of that left leg, he might have twisted his ankle a little bit.
The officials are in conference. There's a penalty marker on the play.
Here's Muncie. Now he's coming up. He plays, tries to lull him to sleep a little bit. Screen right. Now watch this. Ken Sanders right here. He gets a hold of that left leg, and Muncie tries to pull free and might have jerked it a little bit.
Saints were holding on the play. Hank Stram along the sideline. Saints were called for holding on the play. Muncie has gone off. You saw him limp off, and Mike Strawn has come on now. But we have a penalty to check out here. That will be a 10-yarder. Jerry Markwright.
Holding, 87, offense, second, first down.
Wide receiver Don Herman.
Holding against New Orleans.
So that puts the ball back at the 28, makes it 1st and 20.
Well, those penalties are the biggest enemies of coaches, I think, in professional football. They makes you turn gray in a hurry.
Spectators don't care too much about him either. Wide receivers left and right. Manning. And it's complete. Taken by Thaxton. Big Jim gets up to the 49-yard line just in advance of the sticks for a first down. Dick Giron and Levi Johnson made the stop. A 21-yard pickup. 1st and 10 now for the New Orleans Saints at their 49-yard line. Both Manning and Landry call most of their own plays. There are a variety of means by which plays are called these days from the sidelines.
I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, but I think I think the quarterback should call it plays. I'm for that.
Manning is dropping back. He guns this one, but over the head of his intended receiver, Larry Burton, number 80. Burton back in action today for the Saints. He had been on the injury list. Of course, he is an Olympic class sprinter. He can fly. 3-year veteran from Purdue. 2nd down and 10 yards to go. Manning is now 1 for 5, 21 yards passing.
Tell you one thing, he's coming out here putting the ball in the air.
They have come out throwing. 3.5 minutes left to play in the quarter.
Detroit hasn't blitzed too much yet.
There's a pitch, and it's taken by Strawn. Mike Strawn, penalty marker on the play. He went out of bounds over there near the 46-yard line. Paul Newmoff and James Hunter made the stop on Strawn, who is from Iowa State, a 200-pound running back.
Well, he had a fine year when he was a rookie till he got hurt. He's had 2 100-yard games. Let's check out the penalty.
Appears to be against the New Orleans Saints.
Holding, 62, offense, second down.
John Hill, the center. Back to the 39, makes it second down and 20 yards to go. So everybody looks for Archie Manning to put it up. Herman right, and Burton left.
They got 5 defensive backs in the Lions. 5-man rush.
Well, he stayed alive longer than most, but not forever, and was dropped on the 32-yard line.
Let's take a look at the rush for the Detroit Lions. Now, the Lions are in a 5-man rush here. Man head up to centers, guards, and tackles. And Ken Sanders coming from your left. Number 78 gets there first, Doug English. Manning somehow squeezes free, and he knows he's in trouble here. Finally, Ken Sanders gets him.
Make it 3rd and 26, back at the 33-yard line. Make it the 32-yard line, which is 3rd and 27. Second sack of Manning. Burton to the left side. James Don Herman to the right side in this alignment. Split the running backs. Manning.
There it is again.
Well, we've done it again. Ken Sanders, the very same man.
Well, I tell you, Manning having trouble. That's his 3rd sack here in the first quarter.
And that brings the punting unit on, as that's back to the 29 for a loss of 3 would be 4th and 30.
Well, that's been their problem. Last year, the Saints were sacked 51 times to rank next to last in the National Football League. The only team with more sacks was the Detroit Lions. They had 61.
Dick Giron, number 26, you saw deep, playing safety back there, running back to kicks today. One-time running back at Yale. Blanchard kicked for 52 yards in his first punt today.
Trying to block it.
Gets it off. Giron calls for a fair catch. Makes it at the 34. So the Lions start 1st and 10 at their own 34-yard line. 2 minutes, 19 seconds remaining to be played in the first quarter. Blanchard that time had a 37-yard punt. Lions are leading by a score of 7-0.
Stuntman, you get the bruises instead of the glory. You hit the deck and bite the dust till your bones ache. But now comes Miller time. Time to reach for the best tasting beer you can find. Miller High Life, America's quality beer.
If you've got the time, we've got the beer. Miller beer.
We have now 2 minutes, 19 seconds remaining to be played in the first quarter. Along the sidelines, Muncie's left ankle is being taped for the New Orleans Saints. Lions have it 1st and 10 at the 34. Handing it off to Bussey, and Dexter Bussey tries the left side, falls forward to the 37-yard line. That's 3 2nd and 7.
Bussey carrying the ball.
Jim Merlo is in to make the stop. Merlo was on Stanford's Thunder Chicken football teams that beat Ohio State and then Michigan in the Rose Bowl. 2nd and 7.
Bussey's been quite active here in the first quarter. 31 yards, 6 carries.
Dexter Bussey from the University of Texas at Arlington. He's a 210-pound running back. Had 2 touchdowns last week. Double wing. Now they even him up. Tried draw play, and it's Horace King carrying. On the draw, and he got to the 39-yard line. I beg your pardon, the 41-yard line.
King carried the ball in the line, stopped by Price.
Alex Price from Alcorn State made the stop. There's a gain of 4 yards on the play. Will make it 3rd and 3.
The Lions using that double tight end situation. Charlie Sanders has been one of the great tight ends in the league since he came in 10 years ago from the University of Minnesota. He only needs 2 catches today to break the all-time Detroit record. 325 catches set by Gail Cogdon.
Whistle there. 1 minute, 3 seconds left on the clock remaining in the first quarter. The Lions have gained 55 yards in 11 rushes today, and that's an average of 5 yards a rush, which will carry you a long way.
They averaged 5.6 last week.
Landry swings it out right, taken by Horace King. Stumbles but keeps his balance out to the 44-yard line. Now, did he get to the sticks? It looks like he might have missed by a yard or so if it's spotted where I think it's going to be. Tom Myers made the stop.
I would tell you, he looked like as if he was going to get the first down. I don't think he lost track of where he was, how much he needed. But Tom Myers, the free safety, came up with a great defensive play and a good tackle to hold the line short of first down, they'll punt it.
They will, in fact, as the punting unit comes on. Landry goes off. Wilbur Summers back in punt formation. Tommy Hudspeth along the sideline. After he took over as head coach of the Lions last year, they won 5, lost 5. Rich Morty is deep. New Orleans will rush 10 on Wilbur Summers. That's Morty. 19 seconds left in the quarter. Nope. The whistle stops play. Whistle stops play. See, a flag doesn't, but the whistle does. 16 seconds on the clock. Delay is what it is. Delay of game. You got 30 seconds to get it underway, and if you don't, it costs you 5 yards. You just did.
An ironic thought here. Wilbur Summers, who, as we mentioned earlier, has got a lot of pressure on him. This is their 5th punter of the year.
Number 10, offense, 4th down.
Delay. They just called it delay. Didn't get it off in time. But Wilbur Summers just kicked it about 55 yards from the line of scrimmage. I know he wishes they would have got that snap off in time.
He'll try it again. Detroit's been penalized for 30 yards, 4 penalties. Well, that's not as good a one. Rich Morty is over, but there'll be no return, and it'll be marked along the sideline. 7 seconds in the quarter, and it's going to be marked at the 24-yard line, 1st and 10. Well, keep in mind, the CBS Sports Spectacular will be coming up next Saturday at 4:30 p.m. Something for everybody. There's a horse race for Paul and a motor race for me, among other things.
How about that World's Strongest Men's Competition? That should be something. We've got the first event, I understand, is a hoisting of a barrel, and it'll be filled with liquid and lead, and they'll just go to somebody can't lift anymore. Simple as that. And the Cup, of course, one of the great races. Maybe Seattle Slew will be in that. We'll find out next week who's going to run in it.
Sports back at 4:30 Saturday, and here's a pass play that is complete to Don Herman. And Herman gets across the 35 to the 37-yard line, 1st and 10 for the New Orleans Saints. Charlie West made the stop. Archie Manning pumping that one out there to Don Herman from Waynesburg State. So that is the end of the first quarter with the score. The Detroit Lions 7 and the New Orleans Saints nothing.
The Ford in your future is coming. The new Ford Fairmont. A new car designed for today and the years ahead. Fairmont's mileage ratings are the same as a little VW Rabbit when both are equipped with automatic transmission. Yet Fairmont has 90% of the head, leg, and shoulder room of most large cars and fine all-around visibility. This kind of room is combined with the highest mileage rating in its class. Test drive Fairmont October 7th. Fairmont, the newest, better idea from Ford.
At the Silverdome in Pontiac in the first quarter, Detroit had 95 yards total, 55 rushing, 40 passing. New Orleans had 31 yards, 17 passing, 14 rushing. Detroit's leading by a score of 7-0. New Orleans has the ball 1st and 10. They have it at their own 37. That is Archie Manning. Burton wide to the left side. Muncie's back in. Burton's got it. Went out of bounds just near the 50-yard line. Walt Williams made the stop.
Well, Cincinnati pouring on, still in the first quarter. Touchdown runs, Tony Davis, Pete Johnson, and a 5-yard run by quarterback Ken Anderson, 21-0.
Saints have it.
I was going to say, Lindsay, there's an important game for the Washington Redskins. They're trying to come back after that opening day loss, 0-0 first quarter.
Against the team that upset the Los Angeles Rams last week. 1st and 10 now at the 49-yard line. That's Herman in motion across. Archie Manning looks for a screen right. Gets it out there to Galbraith. But no. The Detroit Lions.
You know what? They had a safety blitz on that time. The perfect play was called, but they just didn't execute it. If they could have got by the line of scrimmage, that would have been a long run, Lindsay. Now watch from the center of your screen. You'll see here comes the safety blitz. They had the blitz on, and the ball was just thrown a little outside Galbraith. They lost 7 yards on the play. It could have been a big gainer.
2nd and 17 as you see Paul Newmoff. He's an 11-year man out of the University of Tennessee. 2nd and 17 now.
Where is Tennessee? You know anything about that?
Knoxville. Dropping back is Manning and whips it downfield, and it is intercepted. taken out of the hands of the receiver, and it is Levi Johnson with the football. Levi Johnson returns to his own 47. It was taken out of the hands of the receiver, James Saxton, who still is down on one knee. Saxton had it. It is an interception.
Charlie West hit Saxton just as he caught the ball. Let's watch this. Watch him. He catches the ball. Charlie West hits it right into Levi Johnson. And what an interception here.
Okay, Linda here's got to protect your family.
A woman?
Sure, a woman needs life insurance just as much as a man does. And this New York Life Defense has just the insurance plan to do it. Put the blitz on Linda's money problems. Block out her retirement worries. Come on, Linda, it's all yours now. And a girl!
I've got it. Financial security.
Where the name of the game is life, there's New York Life.
Boy, Lindsay, what a turnaround. That's Levi Johnson making his first interception of the year. And let's take another look at it. Manning goes back. Here comes the blitz. It's picked up well. Now watch Jim Thaxton. He's got a hold of the football, and it bounces right into the hands of Levi Johnson. Charlie West caused that interception. He's going to bring it back 19 yards.
So it is 1st and 10 now for the Lions at the 47-yard line, their own 47. Wide receivers left and right for Landry, and penalty markers drawn, a referee's flag, which usually indicates holding, and the stop is made by Bob Pollard. So Jerry Markbright, the referee, has something to tell us as soon as he gets all his administration taken out. Holding is the penalty against the Lions.
Guess they're going to have a decision here. It's a 14-yard loss on the sack.
It's back there near the 33.
So they'll decline the penalty in this spot.
It has been declined. The penalty against the Detroit Lions.
Now, if you wonder why Landry did not get rid of the football, there wasn't any receivers over here on the left of your screen. There's 75, Alex Price, putting the pressure on. Almost got him by the face mask. Now Landry's in trouble. Bob Pollard in pursuit.
Second down play coming now. 2nd and long for the Detroit Lions. Greg Landry, penalty marker at the line of scrimmage.
In trouble again.
Well, he's going to head for the safety of the sideline at the 36. Gerald Moore was near him there. There's a penalty to be checked out.
Well, you always think back of the ifs. I'm sure Hank Stram, standing on the sidelines, is thinking right now, if he would have held on to the football, we would have had a first down, knocking on the door inside the 20-yard line. Now, Detroit's got it in pretty good field position, although they're going backwards right now.
Well, the penalty is marked off against the New Orleans Saints, a 5-yarder. Let's pick this one up.
Offside, 74, defense, 2nd down.
Gerald Moore was offside.
2nd down and 18.
Washington, a field goal by Mark Mosley at 23 yards. The Redskins in front 3-0. 2nd quarter.
2nd and about 19 at the 38-yard line. Greg Landry steps up. Oh, now. Scramble is on, and is it a fumble? And I think it is. Free ball, and who's got it? Several things involved there.
Luther Blue, who just came into the ball game. Bob Pollard's got it, number 82.
Bob Pollard came out of the sack with it, and the New Orleans Saints have it 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line.
Let's watch Bob Pollard on this play. He comes up with a very important fumble recovery here. There's Pollard trying to be blocked, pushed by Rocky Freitas. And now here's Landry. He gets hit from behind by 75, Alex Price. 73, Russ Bollinger had a shot at it, Lindsey, just couldn't hold on. Looks like Merlot's got it, but Pollard comes up with it.
2nd sack credited to New Orleans. The ball is outside the 31, called the 32-yard line. Early in the 2nd quarter, with Detroit leading 7-0. There's a quick pitch to Munson. He's going to look, and he's going to throw, and he isn't. He's going to run it. 25-20, 15-10, and he is gone for a touchdown.
Well, the option pass. How about that one? I'm glad to take a look at that. Muncie controlled the football. In fact, in college, I think he threw 4 times, all 4 for touchdowns. Watch Muncie. Here's the pitch around the right side. Now, the split end on that side is wide open, but he got a little bit rushed, and this is what this man can do. He can break open the football game. A great runner makes a good cut here, gets a standoff block, and goes in. 21 yards. Check that 32-yard run, credit him with. Here it is again. Good fake. It's an option pass run there. And Chuck Muncie, one of the great backs in college football 2 years ago, doing his thing.
Blanchard's holding. Zarro will attempt. Rich Zarro will attempt. He boots it up. Penalty marker. Penalty marker is dropped, so we'll check this one out. Jerry Markbright says the penalty is against the New Orleans Saints. And he'll tell us about this one in just a moment.
I hope he does.
Here it is.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, illegal substitution, failed to report.
That's what it was. Unsportsmanlike conduct covers a multitude of sins, but an illegal substitution. So that moves it way back to the 12-yard line. Still a conversion now. Keep this in mind. Although he's back there, it'll be a 34-yard conversion attempt by Zarro with Blanchard holding. Still a 1-point matter involved here. Left-footed sidewinder boots this one, and he converts. So it's good, and the score is tied. It is the Saints 7 and the Lions 7. So we have 13 minutes, 20 seconds remaining to be played in the first half, and the Saints have come back to tie the score. It's 7-all.
Sit tight, Pop. I'll pump myself. Let me tell you something, gang. Any gas will get you where you want to go. But it ought to be in there cleaning your carburetor, too. Now, you want to make sure you're getting the job done, use new STP gas treatment. You just pump in a can with every tank load of gas, and it goes to work cleaning like a bandit. Clean that carburetor. Get a hold of this, and do it yourself. Keep the change, partner.
60 Minutes takes you on a stakeout as government agents move in on the mob. Tonight at 7, 6 Central and Mountain Time.
Henry Stram, as always, explaining the game to the official, and at the 35-yard line, it'll be Rich Zarro kicking off. Andy Bolton is center deep. Bolton chases it back, 5 yards deep in the end zone. Goal line 5. He's out to the 10, to the 15, to the 20. Spins his way up to the 25-yard line, from whence the Detroit Lions will begin.
Well, the Colts, 2 touchdowns, one by Roosevelt Leaks, the other by Don McCauley, both on the run. 14-0 second quarter.
When I saw that option pass a moment ago, it reminded me of 2 fellows in my experience who did it better than anybody else I knew. One was named Frank Gifford, and the other was named Paul Horning. Wonder whatever became of those fellows.
Well, I'm still alive and kicking. I'm not kicking as well financially as my man Frank, but I'm happy.
Complaining is a better word. First and 10 at the 25. Greg Landry handing it off to Dexter Bussey. Tries the left side, and penalty marker goes into the stack as he got across the 30.
I tell you, they're pulling a lot of guards, double teaming at the hole with that wing T formation, using those 2 tight ends. Gives them a good running attack. It's going to go against the Lions holding 10 yards. Picked up 5.
Detroit has now had 5 penalties for a total of 40 yards. New Orleans has had 4 penalties for a total of 40 yards. It goes back now to the 14-yard line.
15-yard turnaround.
71, offense. First down.
Greg Hertwig, who started over there at tackle. Yarbrough, of course, is out with an ankle injury. First and 20.
4 receivers in now, Lindsey. 2 tight ends, Jarvis and J.D. Hill. Horace King is out. Horace King is the remaining back.
That's Greg Landry. Well, he completed it out to Charlie Sanders, who now has tied Gail Cogdill's all-time career reception record with the Detroit Lions.
There's the middle blitz. Joe Fetterspiel is picked up by the center. Little short square out, and the roar that you're hearing in the background is a cheer for Charlie Sanders. His 325th reception in Detroit Lion uniform. He needs one more to break the record.
He and Gail Cogdill are now tied.
Just come right back and do it again.
Second down is 14 now. This is Horace King. Got to the 23-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 11 out there at the 23.
Jim Merlo, fine defensive play. He fought off the block of Sanders then.
Pollard and Merlo who stopped it.
Score's tied, 7-7. We are indoors here at the Silver Dome in Pontiac, Michigan. The New Orleans Saints, of course, moved from their home stadium, the Superdome, for today's game in the Silver Dome.
My town, New Orleans, I tell you. Just leave me down there, I'd be happy.
Well, Landry has been left back about the 10-yard line by Alex Price.
Both your inside defensive tackles, Derlin Moore and Alex Price. 3rd sack for the Saints.
Loss of about 13 on the play, and brings the punting unit on. So now Wilbur Summers is going to have a little extra added pressure because he's going to be punting from his own end zone, and New Orleans will be sending some folks, I think.
Imagine.
4th down.
Rich Marty is back deep now as you watch Summers. His team has had 3 sacks.
There it is.
It's blocked in the end zone.
Touchdown.
Touchdown it is. A touchdown.
Lindsey, that was not the kicker's fault.
Myers, Tom Myers.
Tommy Myers blocked the punt, and the boos that you hear, I tell you, the kicking game, they felt cost Detroit their game last week. Look at Henry. He's all the way out there congratulating that punt block team.
That's Myers came by him.
Now watch, he gets it off on rhythm, but nobody held up the Saints on the rush. From the outside, it was Tommy Myers. Here he comes.
37.
Got through the inside, Lindsey.
So with 11 minutes, 5 seconds left in the half, New Orleans Saints have taken a lead, and we have Blanchard holding Pizarro. The left footer boots it up, and the conversion is good.
Jimmy Stewart also in on that punt block. He recovered it, Lindsey. He got credit for the touchdown.
And so the New Orleans Saints have taken a lead of 14-7 in the second quarter.
Hey, Mom!
Oh, hiya, Sonny.
Stop sitting around, Mom. Let's take a ride in my new Ford pickup.
All right, let me drive. Hope I can handle it.
This is the one that's built tough with Ford's exclusive twin I-beam suspension and a new 4-speed overdrive option. And extensive rust-fighting materials on underbody parts.
What you think, Mom?
You may think I'm off my rocker. This Ford is tough.
Of all Ford trucks registered over the last 12 years, 93 out of 100 are still on the job.
Hank Stram and his quarterback Archie Manning. The Saints have scored 2 touchdowns in 1 minute, 15 seconds. And now they're kicking off as Arrow kicks it off. Hunter is center deep. James Hunter, 4 yards deep in the end zone, goal line 5, out to the 10, to the 15, to the 20, and stopped at the 21-yard line.
Well, Reggie Williams on an intercepted pass, 54-yard return, adding to the Bengal blitz in Cincinnati.
Stopped by Jones. 1st and 10 to the line.
28-0.
Summers, the punter who had the kick blocked. So it'll be 1st and 10 now for the Detroit Lions. It has been said there's nothing so devastating in a game of football as a blocked punt.
Well, the Lions last week had a punt block. They also had one return for a touchdown.
This is next to Bussey, and he gets it up there to the 25-yard line for 4. It'll be second down and 6 yards to go.
Stopped by Price and Moore.
Well, they're happy to be inside the dome, aren't they?
I'm happy to be inside the dome myself.
Too. I might be a little happy if I was sitting close to some of them little ladies.
Second down and 6 yards to go.
But I'd rather be here with you.
Of
Lindsay,
course, I bet. And that is Dexter Bussey. We just have word from our producer, David Fox, that Los Angeles has been picked as the site of the next Olympic Games, the ones after Moscow. That'd be 84. As you know, the two principal considerations were New York City and Los Angeles, and Los Angeles has been selected. The Olympics. And now he completes it back. And a penalty marker goes down. David Hill is the man who had the football. But there's a penalty marker way back upfield.
Penalty marker inside the 10-yard line might be holding. Hill, I think, was roughed up after he was down. Let's check it out.
Well, flags at various places on the field, so they probably have considerations. Let's get it from Mark Wright. Holding and clipping, both against the Detroit Lions.
That's going to nullify a third down, third and 8. They had third down 8 yards to go for the first down. Picked up the first down up to the 35-yard line. And again, penalties are hurting the Lions.
That will move the ball back there to the 14-yard line. Now we get it.
Personal foul, clipped, 71, offense declined, holding, 76, offense, third down.
Freitas was holding, Hertwig was clipping.
Both offensive tackles. There's your holding on the right side over there. Hertwig's holding. Now, Landry steps up into the pocket and spots his open man. Little safety valve pass over here. Let's see if we can pick up the clip. Right there. There's the clip. That's Craig Hertwig on the clip. Roger Freitas on the hold.
Third and 17 at the 14-yard line for the Lions. Landry swings it out in the right flat, and that's Horace King, and he gets it up to the 20-yard line. Picked up 6 on the play, where it'll be 4th down and 11 yards to go, and that brings on you-know-who and the punting unit, Wilbur Summers. Rich Moody has dropped back to receive the punt now. Summers is standing on his 5. That's Moody. Waiting to receive it, standing on his own 35.
Summers back to the line.
Rush 10. Almost did it again. Fair catch is called for at the 48-yard line. So New Orleans starts first and 10 at their own 48.
Boy, Tommy Myers almost blocked another one.
Well, here are games coming up next week. The Giants are in Atlanta. Paul and I'll be there. Philadelphia is at Detroit. Green Bay against Minnesota.
New Orleans against Chicago. Tampa Bay goes to Dallas, and San Francisco at Los Angeles. And then the doubleheader game, St. Louis against Washington. Boy, that's always been a dandy.
That's all next Sunday on CBS.
NFL at its best on CBS.
Chuck Muncie gets the pitch from Manning and struggles across to the 49-yard line for a gain of 3, where it'll be second down and 7 yards to go for the Saints. Paul Newmont made the stop. Eight minutes, 22 seconds remaining to be played in the first half. Saints are leading by a score of 14-7.
Second and 8.
Burton comes to the left side and Don Herman to the right for Archie Manning. Burton trying to run under it, and he can't hold on. He made it interesting at that.
I'll tell you, he beat Walt Williams in a foot race down the left side. He's shaken up on the play. Manning now 4 out of 11 for 40 yards, 1 interception. And Larry Burton, who's been troubled with hamstring pulls. Watch this. He's got good protection. The fly pattern. Watch Levi Johnson coming over from his free safety. And Burton got his hands on the football, just couldn't hold on.
He's hurt. He's hurt. He's still down.
He got banged by Levi Johnson, went right on top of him.
He's still down in the end zone, Burton is, and so we're being held up because of the injury to Burton. Well, the CBS Sports Spectacular comes up next Saturday at 4:30 p.m. And Paul was talking about the world's strongest men's competition. And we'll have that, of course, a tournament in which 8 athletes were selected to compete on the recommendation of authorities in the field of strength.
Boy, and don't miss the Super Bowl of motocross at Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. That was wild last year. I tell you, Jim Pomeroy's back, Jim Weinert, last year's champion. In fact, Weinert's making a comeback after injuries which sidelined him most of the year.
And the purse at Belmont, $250,000 for the cup.
Oh, that's one of the great races leading up to the Horse of the Year honors, and one of the most important horse races in the fall Triple Crown of racing.
Right here, we have 7 minutes, 57 seconds left to play as Larry Burton is still getting attention. Having been injured on the last play, Hank Stram came out. Is talking to an official as he comes back across the field.
Well, the Jets have gotten on the scoreboard. Baltimore took an early 14-0 lead. Now a 23-yard field goal by Pat Leahy has cut Baltimore's lead to 11. The Colts second quarter, 14, the Jets 3.
Burton being assisted to his feet now. And he's coming off.
Not too many guys going to stay with him man on man, especially when he runs that long fly pattern. They almost have to have inside help from him.
Joel Parker has replaced him now. He's a 3-year veteran from Florida, 6'5", 215-pounder. And the New Orleans Saints, on a 3rd down situation, have the ball at the 49-yard line of the Detroit Lions. It's 3rd and 8.
3rd down, about 7.
Parker part of the left side. Herman's in the slot left.
Reverse.
Archie Manning on a reverse, taken by Herman. And Herman is being pulled down by Ken Sanders. Ken Sanders.
Lindsay, it did not fool Ken Sanders. He's already credited with 2 sacks today. And the fine defensive left end was not fooled by the reverse. He smelled it all away.
Loss of 17 yards, makes it 4th and 25, and brings on the punter now for New Orleans.
Watch Ken Sanders at the top of your screen. Here comes the reverse to Herman. And boy, Sanders had his eyesight on him all the way.
Tom Blanchard in deep punt formation, and Dick Geron is back to receive it. Long, high, spiraling kick. Hits back there around the 10. It's bounding around, and it's going to go into the end zone. Touchback. It'll be put in play 1st and 10. The 20-yard line. It didn't miss going out at the flag very long. A 66-yard punt for Tom Blanchard.
Almost took a right turn right into that coffin corner. 66 yards for Blanchard.
No wonder Henry Stram talked him out of retiring. Ball is at the 20 now as the Detroit Lions take over with 7 minutes, 13 seconds left to play in the half. Marv Hubbard is in there now. Veteran running back, a 235-pounder. Rick Kane is in there at running back as well. Here's Landry's pass. Jarvis incomplete. Ray Jarvis on a turnout. 2nd and 10 at the 20, and the Detroit fans are getting a little restless as New Orleans leads in the game by a score of 14-7. Jarvis back to the huddle.
Jarvis had a pretty good year last year. He caught 39 passes for over 800 yards, 5 touchdowns. Comes across that middle. He can catch it in the crowd, Lindsay.
It's is Rick Kane carrying. Kane sprints out to the 29-yard line.
We got a penalty against Detroit, offsides. Kane is a rookie, number 3 draft choice out of San Jose State, 5'11", 200 pounds. Preliminary indication was against Detroit, but they're going to leave the ball short of the 30-yard line.
3rd and 1. 3rd down and a yard to go.
No penalty.
Marv Hubbard looking for a yard and got it with yards to spare. Out just short of the 40-yard line, 1st and 10. Myers and Merlo made the stop.
There's Big Marvin, 237 pounds, off the left side, and he got the first down easily. Ernie Jackson finally pulls him down.
Incidentally, the official statistician has now credited Tom Myers officially with the block punt and the recovery for the touchdown for the New Orleans Saints. So it is 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line for the Detroit Lions. Greg Landry going long to Jarvis, and it's incomplete. Ray Jarvis. Ernie Jackson on the corner coverage. 6-year veteran from Duke.
He's calling for a little something from the sideline. Now watch Landry here. It looks as if that might be a little stickum. See, he touches his hands, puts it on his hands, and then throws it back. And that gives him a little bit better grip on the football.
In the baseball world, at the end of an inning and a half, the New York Yankees 6 and the Toronto Blue Jays nothing. Rained out yesterday. Landry is 5 for 10, 52 yards in the air. As this one to Big Marv Hubbard. Got it across the 45 to the 46-yard line, where it'll be 3rd and 4. Greg Westbrooks and Elois Grooms made the stop.
Stop by Grooms and Westbrook.
Grooms is 6'4", 250-pounder from Tennessee Tech.
3rd about 3.
Horace King has come into the game now, and Marv Hubbard has gone out.
And he's getting a nice hand. He was released from the Oakland Raiders, of course. And it's tough when you leave a championship team like that. And it seems to me that Hubbard's been playing longer than 8 years, doesn't it?
Luther Blue is far to the right side for the Detroit Lions. Greg Landry. That's all. That's Bob Pollard and Jim Merlo arriving on the scene. And it also brings in the punting unit for the Detroit Lions.
4th sack today for Greg Landry. St. Louis has taken an early first quarter score. Jim back in a 49-yard field goal.
Wilbur Summers is in deep punt formation, and back is Rich Moody to receive it, and the New Orleans Saints are rushing 10. There it is. Penalty marker running into the kicker, and it is taken on a fair catch at the 29.
It was Jimmy Stewart, number 26, who ran into the kicker. It's going to be an automatic 1st down, and Detroit is going to have the football back.
5-yard penalty. First down. There is a difference between running into the kicker and roughing the kicker. That was running into the kicker, a 5-yard penalty, but an automatic 1st and 10. Just in advance of the 43-yard line. We have 5 minutes, 5 seconds left to play in the half. New Orleans Saints 14, Detroit Lions 7. Jarvis goes to the right side. J.D. Hill comes, or rather Hill to the right side, and Jarvis to the left side. Running backs to the 9. Landry has the ball. Dumps it in the left flat. Taken out there by David Hill. Got across the 50 and down to the 43 for a 1st and 10.
David Hill Clarence Chapman makes a stop. They're out of the I formation here. Gets good pass protection out of the play action. Picks up 13 yards, first down. David Hill. Here's Clarence Chapman coming up to make the stop.
So trailing by 7 points, getting along late in the second quarter. The Lions have the ball first and 10 at the New Orleans 42, just short of it. Split 'em. Next to Bessie. Gets into the 37-yard line before Bob Pollard stopped him. A gain of about 5 to make it 2nd and 5.
Jim Harris has thrown a touchdown pass of 12 yards to Don Wood. San Diego 7, Kansas City nothing. First quarter.
2nd down and 5 yards to go. Jarvis to the left side. Luther Blue coming out wide right for Greg Landry. Even up Horace King and Dexter Bussey. Now they try the reverse with David Hill, the tight end. But he's cut off at the pass for a loss back to the 44-yard line.
It's Greg Westbrook's over there. I think both teams were ready for these reverses, Lindsey.
Bettersfield, Derlin Moore. Loss of about 7 on the play, which is going to make it 3rd and 12 yards to go. Third and 12 for the Detroit Lions, with the Saints leading 14-7, 3 minutes, 10 seconds left in the first half. Jarvis to the left side, Luther Blue coming out wide right. Bussey left and King right. Greg Landry. And it is completed to Luther Blue, and he is at the 25, spinning his way to the 23-yard line. Luther Blue, the rookie from Iowa State.
Coverage by Ernie Jackson. Now, Lindsey, when the Detroit Lions took over the football here, they threw a fly pattern against Jackson. Was incomplete. Now, that's what the fly pattern does. He's consciously thinking about they might try deep again. He lays off a little bit. Greg Landry comes back and throws a turnout to Luther Blue for the first down, a pickup of 21 yards.
Making it 1st and 10 for Greg Landry's Detroit Lions at the 23-yard line. We're approaching the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes, 25 seconds left to play in the half. Giving him up. King left, Bussey right. That's Horace King. Well, he slipped down, but no contact, so he got up and proceeded. Got it down to the 18-yard line. Maybe the 19. Joe Fettersfield and Tom Myers made the stop. The clock is counted down to 2:04, 2:03, 2:02, 2:01, and there it is, the 2-minute warning. Ball is spotted squarely on the 19-yard line, so it's going to be 2nd down and 6 yards to go for the Lions at the Saints 19.
Here's a few tips on how to get out of an airport fast. 1. Join the #1 club and reserve a car with Hertz. 2. Have your license and credit card ready, because Hertz will be ready for you. Just sign and go. 3. Need directions? Ask Hertz. They know the shortest route. Nobody can get you out of an airport faster. Nobody can get you out of an airport faster.
Go, Juice! Go!
Rent a Ford from Hertz.
A superstar in rent-a-car.
Right.
Got some scores. Jim Zorn, an 82-yard pass, has brought Seattle back a little bit. 28-7, though, second quarter. The Bengals lead.
2nd and 6 for the Lions at the 19-yard line of the Saints. 14-7 New Orleans. 2 minutes left to play in the first half. Greg Landry pumps once on the side end. Hit his receiver incomplete.
A fine defensive play by Jackson that time. He cut off the quick post to Luther Blue. Real good defensive play. Here's the first quarter score in an important ball game. Dallas, a 2-yard run by Roger Staubach. Still in the first quarter. Cowboys lead the Giants 7-0.
3rd and 6 for the Detroit Lions at the 19-yard line of the Saints. Greg Landry is 7 for 13, 87 yards in the first half. Luther Blue goes out to the left side. Charlie Sanders is over there. Jarvis comes to the right side. Split the running backs for Greg Landry. Landry splits. Luther Blue, and it's incomplete. Charlie Sanders, beg your pardon, Charlie Sanders, 88.
They had the blitz on.
It'll be 4th and 6 at the 19. Charlie Sanders, who has already tied the career reception record of the Lions, held by Gale Cogdill, needs one to set a record of his own.
Going to bring up 4th down. They'll try a field goal here.
Mickemeyer come in. Danielson will hold for him. And it's going to be a 37-yard attempt. Steve Mickemeyer. Danielson puts it down. Mickemeyer boots it up, and it's no good.
Wide to the left.
It is no good, and so it'll be brought out and put in play at the 20-yard line.
So far, Lindsay, the kicking game of Detroit early here in the season leaves them somewhat to be desired, I'll tell you.
All right, next week on CBS, the Giants will be in Atlanta. The Eagles are against these Detroit Lions, and the Green Bay Packers meet Minnesota.
That's the first game of the NFL doubleheader, depending on where you are. Then the second game,
New Orleans and the Bears, and then the doubleheader game, of course, the St. Louis Cardinals against the Washington Redskins. 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line for the New Orleans Saints. 1:45 on the clock. Don Herman going across. Here's the pitch. Muncy has it. Penalty marker thrown. Muncy to the 24-yard line.
Muncy carrying the ball.
Larry Hand made the stop, but there is a penalty marker to be checked out. Chuck Muncy.
Going to go against New Orleans here. I'm sure Hank would just love to run out the clock, take a 14-7 lead. They don't want Detroit with their hands on the football again.
New Orleans had a great preseason. They won 5 out of 6 games in the preseason. 10-yard penalty.
Holding, 86, offense, first down.
Jim Thaxton, 86. 1st and 20 at the 10 now for the New Orleans Saints. 1:37 remaining to be played in the first half, with New Orleans leading 14-7. Thaxton comes far to the left side. Archie Manning, the quarterback. Leave it on the ground to Muncy. Penalty markers thrown. Muncy stopped at the 9-yard line. Charlie West up from his strong safety along with Doug English.
Again. They'll probably decline this, Lindsay. Use the down up. They've got 3 timeouts remaining. They'll have to take a timeout after one of these downs.
Declined, 2nd down.
It is again number 86, Thaxton, holding, decline so the down counts.
If I was Mr. Thaxton, I'd be a little bit more careful now. They're really, those referees have their eye on him.
Well, they'll look you up if you do it that often. It's 2nd and 21 at the 9-yard line. Try draw play. No, lost another yard. Tony Galbraith carried. Lost a yard to the 8, so now it's 3rd and 22. Timeout for the Lions. They want to stop that clock at 1:23. Now, when play is resumed, it'll be 3rd down. About 22 yards to go. The Detroit Lions playing now here at the Silverdome in Pontiac. I did a lot of Lions games back in the 1950s when they had a coach named Buddy Parker, and they had a backfield consisting of Bobby Lane and Joe Walker and Pat Harder and Hunchy Hornsmeyer, and they weren't bad.
Yeah, they were pretty good off the field, too. They hung around together, didn't they?
I used to do that Thanksgiving morning game in Detroit between the Green Bay Packers and the Detroit Lions, and the trick was, if you're working, is don't let the parade get between you and the stadium.
Well, I tell you, Thanksgiving Day, I played in a few of those meetings over here in Detroit. It's a great game to play in, although I say I would much rather face a nice turkey dinner than some of those Detroit defenses in those days. I got a tie ball game. Chicago-St. Louis. Bob Thomas, a 22-yard field goal, is matched Jim Bakken. Bakken kicked one earlier from 49 yards out. First quarter score, the Bears 3, the Cardinals 3.
Right here, the New Orleans Saints 14. The Detroit Lions 7. New Orleans has the ball now. They have it at their own 8-yard line. Third down and 22 yards to go. Archie Manning, the quarterback. Leave it on the ground. Muncie, Doug Muncie took a wrinkle at the tackle hold and went outside to the 10. James Hunter and Charlie West ran him out of the 10-yard line. That brings on the New Orleans kicking unit.
It was very important that time that Chuck Muncie should have fought against going out of bounds. It just, Detroit would have had to take another timeout. Now they still have 2 timeouts remaining.
Punting situation coming up, and Tom Blanchard is in to do the punting. So far today, he has been kicking the ball out of sight.
You don't think they'll try to block this, do you?
Geron is back near midfield as the Detroit Lions are ready. But the offensive line holds him out well, and Geron calls for a fair catch and makes it at his 35, the 35-yard line.
Now, they're booing Dick Geron, which they shouldn't, because he had to make a fair catch. That stops the clock. But more importantly is Detroit had a punt block on, so everybody's rushing the kicker. He had no blockers back there at all.
A 55-yard punt for Tom Blanchard. Gives the Lions the ball in their own territory at their own 35. So that Blanchard has had punts of 39, 52, 36, 66, and 55 yards today, which is booming the football. Greg Landry. Luther Blue diving, and he's got it. It is incomplete. Incomplete. Ernie Jackson covering. Well, he had it, but the officials say short hop.
He had it in the webbing of his glove, right, Lynn?
That's where he had it. Second and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Boy, they're really trying to work on the defensive left side. The New Orleans Saints, I'd say over 50, much bigger percentage going over against Ernie Jackson. Most of the passes for Detroit, they're really working on it.
Jarvis left and Luther Blue right for Greg Landry up the middle, and it is taken by David Hill. He got it at his 49-yard line with 57 seconds on the clock. Chuck Chris made the tackle.
They'll take a timeout here.
14-yard pickup on the play. Spotted at the 48-yard line. Where it is first and 10. Another timeout for the Lions. Stopping that clock as you see in set 57. And she's for the Detroit Lions, I think. Play is resumed. The Lions will have it trailing by 7. Landry is 8 for 16, 100 yards passing here in the first half, but his Lions are trailing by 7 points. Charlie Sanders is coming into that huddle right there, number 88. What a career he's had. 10-year veteran out of the University of Minnesota, 6'4", 230-pounder. Hank Stramp, many, many years, 15 years, the coach of the Kansas City Chiefs, and before that the Dallas entry, which moved to Kansas City. I went out to do a game, the Minnesota Vikings against Kansas City, and Henry took me upstairs and showed me the new offices and all the new facilities, and said he had been waiting all his life for those facilities. He was fired after that season. Now it is Landry back. Here's a long pass downfield to Luther Blue, and he catches it.
Boy, he turned it on. Luther Blue, the rookie number 4 draft choice out of Iowa State, and Landry wishes he had that one back. He had Jackson beaten. Just got finished mentioning they're really working on Jackson. He's had a busy afternoon.
You see David Hill coming into the huddle for a little word there for Landry. It is second and 10 at the 48-yard line. Clock says 51 seconds, stopping, of course, on the incompletion. Jarvis going to the left side, Luther Blue to the right side, and the tight end is David Hill. Landry. They threw this one away. Penalty marker into the stack. He had a safety valve out there, Horace King, but threw it away.
Could be holding.
And it is. That's against the line. Line of scrimmage is the 48. It's a 10-yard penalty. Make it 2nd and 20 at the 38-yard line.
Holding, 68, offense, 3rd down.
Mark Markovich, the center. 7th Detroit penalty, a total of 60 yards. 45 seconds on the clock.
That's too many penalties.
Jarvis left, Luther Blue to the right side. Saints 14, Lions 7. Landry. Up the middle and complete. Dexter Bussey to the 50. Outside to the 45, heading for the sideline, and he gets out at the 40-yard line. Ernie Jackson pulled him out. 1st and 10. He got to the stick.
Oh, great job by Dexter Bussey. They're over the middle, and he fought his way to get out of bounds. 34 seconds still left on the clock, and Detroit still has one very important timeout left. He picked up 22 yards, got the 1st down. Smart running by Dexter Bussey.
Jerry Markwright, the referee, indicating that this is an official's timeout until they can get things properly adjusted, and there's somebody injured along that sideline as well. So this is an official's timeout for the injury.
It's exciting. We cannot...
It's Jackson.
Is it
Ernie Jackson.
Ernie Jackson, who the Detroit Lions have been working over all day long over on the left side.
So he is injured, and that is Hank Stram over. Then you see about him, and
I tell you, I always like that about Hank, and he gets involved with these players, and a lot of people have start talking about players when they get hurt. Hank always comes across and sees about the injury. Here it is. Let's pick it up and see if we can pick up the injury. That's Ernie Jackson getting Bussey out of bounds. Now he goes out of bounds, and I really can't tell whether Bussey hit him after he went out of bounds or not. Let's take a look from another angle. Here comes Bussey. There's Jackson. Well, he might have. He's already hurt right there.
Yes, he is.
I think he might have pulled right arm when he was tackling. With that arm tackle, he might have pulled the shoulder out.
Craig Cassidy's in there now in his place. Craig Cassidy's son, a former Heisman Trophy winner. Hopalong Cassidy. And here's a pass play taken by Horace King. He goes out of bounds as they move it just short of the 30-yard line. Clock shows 29 seconds left to play in the half. That is short of the first down, lacks about a yard.
And I told you that time that Muncie ran the sweep around the right side and they forced him out of bounds, it looms pretty big here because Detroit still has a timeout left.
Second down, about a yard to go. Short of the 30-yard line of New Orleans in Detroit possession. Landry. And it is incomplete.
Landry was thinking turn in to Charlie Sanders. He just cut on upfield.
It'll be 3rd and 1. Incompletion stops the clock. 24 seconds in set.
Well, we got a famous rookie in for the New Orleans Saints, Craig Cassidy. From Ohio State, of course, the son of Hopalong Cassidy, who was a star here with the Detroit Lions. Craig playing on the corner now in place of Ernie Jackson.
There he is, Craig Cassidy. He says, I'm defense, my dad was offense. 3rd down and a yard to go. Landry. Incomplete to Horace King. So it'll be 4th down and a yard to go. Saints are leading by 7 points. Field goal unit was ready to come out, but Tommy Hudspeth says, no, hold it.
See, they still have that timeout remaining, Lynch. They'll probably go for the 1st down here and take the timeout if they make it, of course.
4th and 1. 19 seconds left to play in the half. New Orleans 14, Detroit 7. Dexter Bussey has got the 1st and 10 at the 24-yard line. Clock is running, and now the timeout with 13 seconds. Now the timeout, that final timeout by Detroit.
They run behind those two big tight ends. They're lining up on the same side over there, Linz. And it's almost single wing theory. You remember that at Tennessee, don't you?
I'll say I didn't know there was anything but a single wing till I was 30 years old.
But it's just power football. They run behind those two big tight ends. There's one of them, Charlie Sanders.
Charlie Sanders along the sideline. Dexter Bussey has carried 10 times and picked up 45 yards. Greg Landry has quarterbacked the Detroit Lions throughout. He has 13 seconds. Now the ball is at the 25-yard line. Tommy Hudspeth is talking it over with Landry.
Well, they have one play. They can either go for the 6, throw it in the end zone, or if they do complete the pass, Ernie Jackson is being helped back on the other side of the field to the Saints area. And there's Landry. If they complete the pass inbounds in the field of play, and he's tackled, it's going to run out the clock. So they got to be pretty careful. They've got to get out of bounds if they complete the pass, if they don't throw it into the end zone. Stepping into the booth, one of my men, I'll tell you, Ron Kramer, one of the great tight ends of all time with the Packers, ended up his career in Detroit. Ron, they're using those two tight ends with pretty good effectiveness here in the first half.
Well, they sure are, Paul. You know, it's a new innovation in football as Greg Landry goes back to pass. It's a little bit overthrown, but it's a new innovation in football, and it's power football, as you've mentioned. It's almost like a single wing with those two big guys, 235, 240 pounds, blocking in front of those backs. It's a good new prospect to the game, and it's probably the newest thing since the I formation.
I tell you, when we had this guy playing, I remember one game, Lindsay, in the championship, he weighed 279 pounds. He's the biggest guy on the whole field as a tight end. Here's a field goal.
Field goal attempt coming now. A 42-yarder, and it is good. A 42-yard field goal is good.
Well, and I tell you, that timeout, once he got out of bounds, it's going to look back to haunt the New Orleans Saints here with that 3 points.
Steve Mickemeyer put it up there, and so there are 2 seconds remaining on the clock after the successful 42-yard field goal, which makes it the Saints 14 and the Lions 10.
Well, Ron, you watching Detroit football here since you retired, living in this area, and they really haven't been too consistent offensively over the years.
Well, they really haven't, Paul. Defensively, they've been very, very strong. They're a blitzing team, always have been. Traditionally, they have been very, very strong defensively. And they always had some good linebackers and defensive linemen, and this year is no exception. And that's what's going to make them somewhat of a half-and-half team. You know, they're going to win some games, they're going to lose some games because they're going to be able to overwhelm people defensively. I really feel that Detroit does have a pretty good chance here in this Western Division, and here's the kickoff.
Pounding down there, and it's Marty who is letting it go by him into the end zone. There will be no run back, and since the clock does not start in the last 2 minutes until the ball is touched, we still have 2 seconds. Touch back, and it'll be brought out and put in play 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. After you get to the 2-minute warning on the kickoff, the clock does not start until the ball is touched on the field of play by a member of the receiving team. So it didn't start, and we have 2 seconds. The clock will start again when the ball is snapped, which means simply that New Orleans has time to get one off.
It's amazing, isn't it, Lindsay, what these professional teams can do with the last 2 minutes. Detroit, 45 yards and get 3 points out of it, puts them back into the game.
Well, they put a little time in on it. Of course, coming up at halftime, Brent, Herb, Phyllis, and the Greek.
Now they simply run the sneak, and the quarterback kneels, and time is run out. And that's it. At the end of the first half, here at the Silverdome in Pontiac, Michigan, the score is the New Orleans Saints 14 and the Detroit Lions 10.
There's 85 feet between you and the ground, and there's enough juice at your fingertips to light up the county. But now comes Miller time. Time to head for the best-tasting beer you can find. America's quality beer, Miller High Life.
When it's time to relax, Miller stands clear. Beer after beer. If you got the time, we got the beer. Miller Beer.